Today has just kind of been a poopy day in terms of energy. And the thought of going through all of this is making me very sad. I'm just really tired and exhausted for no real reason. Okay, so here's what happened. I started my bedroom, office makeover about a month ago now. I was so excited. I got this new camera. I was gonna make it so aesthetic and pleasing to watch, and had all these crazy ideas. Ordered a bunch of stuff the same week. It all started coming in, but it just kind of became a train wreck because the room has been just a mess this whole entire month that I have not completed the makeover. The new desk I got, which is really cute, has just become a placeholder for all the crap in my room. I still have a lot of like documents and little pieces of furniture like underneath my desk that I haven't done anything with, that I don't know what I'm gonna do with yet. So the reason why I stalled on my progress of this room makeover, which I was hoping I was gonna get done like within a week, at least a week, if not 2 weeks, to get this all done. Literally like the next day after I got my camera. Actually, it was the same day I did my thrifting experience. I was so tired. I just remember waking up and being like, I was so excited yesterday when I went to bed, but I woke up with just no energy at all. I was kind of internally beating myself up. And so that thrift store was the only thing I could manage to do that day. I bought myself a Dutch Bros coffee to try and get myself into the mood, which did help a little bit. And then a few more days go by, still just exhausted, like regardless of how my sleep was. And then a new symptom comes in, and it's morning sickness. And I told my husband, like, I'm either pregnant or I have cancer. Basically, I was just trying to paint the picture of like, something's really wrong with me. So I ended up taking a test. It was an expired one, so it like gave me this really weird like half answer. Like it looked like yes, but the control panel didn't appear. So I bought 2 more tests, took them a day or 2 apart, and they all said, yes, you're pregnant. So I was like, great. That changes everything. And I know I look a little disheveled right now. I have just had no energy to do much this last month. And then to make things worse, that week when I was feeling really off, my daughter got sick, and she got really sick. Started with pink eye, and then she got this really nasty cough, and she was fevering for like 4 days. Normally when the kids get sick, I expect them day 3, day 4, they start turning around, but she wasn't, and she was very, very needy during this time. So I knew something was up with her, like this wasn't just your typical cold. Took her to the doctor, quickest appointment I could get with our non-preferred doctor, and he looked at her for like 2 minutes, and all he did was like prescribe her eye ointment for the eye. He listened to her lungs because I was concerned about her lungs, and he said it was fine, but he didn't hear anything. So I wasn't happy with that experience, so I ended up booking another appointment with our preferred pediatrician. I ended up getting her appointment like a week after that initial appointment, and she was still sick, and so the doctor was like, probably just a virus, it just has to run its course. But I told her I'm just concerned that it's pneumonia at this point because she's not acting normal. All she wanted to do was lay down. She did not have the energy to get up, to eat even. She wasn't eating, and she already lost weight like in this week and a half. She's already a little tiny girl, so you could just start to see like the ribs poking out and like the spine poking out. So I was like, I don't know, something's going on. So because I expressed that concern, the doctor's like, okay, I'll order an x-ray. Next day they call us, surprise, it's pneumonia, like I thought from day 1. So they put her on antibiotics right away. During this time, I then picked up what she got, not the pneumonia part, but like the initial virus that she picked up. And then I have to deal with my daughter who has pneumonia, then I get sick, and then my son gets sick. So like just this whole month has just been, it's been rough. I love that this makeover just turned into a complete train wreck. It only made things worse that I started the makeover because it's not finished, so nothing's like really functional in the room yet. So that's where we're at. We're a lot better now. Normally I'm not like quick to medicate my kids or even myself. but at this point, seeing her just suffer for like 3 weeks straight, not ideal, but need her to get better and gain some weight, because that's the thing, when she's sick she doesn't want to eat. And so now we are feeling a little bit better. She's feeling a lot better. I'm still dealing with the fatigue. I'm not a napping person. I very much border on the insomniatic scale, but I've been a whole new creature these last few weeks, just napping as much as I can because I just have been so exhausted. So I'm kind of getting the swing of that. I've been so sensitive with the morning sickness, like I can hardly even prepare food. I've been relying on takeout and fast food. So I've eaten at all sorts of places these last few weeks. Probably not the best thing for me, but you know what? I'd rather eat than not eat. So anyway, all that to say, welcome back to the makeover. I will be doing it a little slower than originally planned because I only have so much energy. My eating schedule is aggressive. Every 2 hours on the clock, or I want to throw up. Let me show you where we're at in the room. And just please don't judge me. It's a mess, okay? I do have the bed kind of made for the first time in the month that we've been sick. It's pretty much just been like a little sick den, but I, you know, washed all the sheets, washed all the pillowcases, blah, blah, blah. Did everything, because now that we're not as sick, Paul got to come back into the bed. Poor guy, he's been sleeping on the couch. While me and my daughter have just been here. I have a lot of stuff down here that needs to be dealt with. If you guys are looking at my floor and you're seeing like this stuff, it looks crusty from here. It's actually just concrete, like raw concrete that's been polished. So there are some places where it has like a lighter stain from stuff that used to be there. It's clean. There are some crumbs, not gonna lie. But no, this stuff right here, that's just concrete. That's just a different color. But you can see kind of the same thing going on over here. There's like there almost used to be nails there. Anyway. Excuse me. Here's the messy desk situation that I told you about. Totally not functional, totally not ready for me to be creative. Have this drawer half out just to, you know, perfect the illusion of chaos. I've got water bottles, I've got candy, I've got clothes that need to be put away. Here's the document situation I told you guys about where I just don't really know what to do with some of this stuff. You know what? We'll take care of it. For now, what I would like to do is just go through all the Amazon boxes that I ordered. I have not opened anything, so I'd like to open it, take stock, make sure everything I ordered actually arrived. I feel like that would make me a little more excited about jumping back into this, because since stopping, it's become a lot more daunting. Definitely not gonna do everything today. Let's just open up the boxes and have a little Christmas. Got some keys because I don't have a box cutter. While I open this, I'm gonna talk a little bit about my feelings about finding out that I'm pregnant with a third child. Okay. This is my new computer cover. Was I planning for a third child? No. Was I trying to prevent a third child necessarily? No. So I can't say I'm super surprised, but I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I do feel like the rug has been pulled from under me. I have made some goals for myself with the YouTube channel, and I can't help but feel like not that those plans went down the drain. I know I can still do it. It's not like everything has changed, but I just feel like it's gonna be harder now. I'm sorry. And I haven't even really had time to process how I feel, to be completely honest, because of everything I mentioned before that happened at the same time. I found out I was pregnant at the same time as my daughter getting really sick, and I got really sick. So I haven't even really had the chance to just think about it. But I will say this, I know I don't want to slip into a negative thought pattern, because I kind of have the tendency to do that, to just slip into this loop of like, oh no, woe is me, pity party. And it's just not helping anybody. It's not helping me, it's not helping my family. It's just gonna make things harder in a situation where what's done is done. You know what I mean? I wasn't planning on saying this, but I feel like it needs to be said. I've had 2 abortions prior to this pregnancy. So I had my son, and then I had my daughter 2 years after, and then I thought I was done. That was a time in my life where I didn't necessarily believe in a higher power. I didn't believe that a baby at conception, when it's a tiny little clump of cells, I didn't believe that it was a baby yet. I thought later in the pregnancy, when it's like formed into a baby around 20 weeks roughly, I'm not saying exactly this is when it's a baby, but I just had the mind of like, this isn't a baby at 6 weeks. So I had 2 unplanned pregnancies after my daughter And I was in this mental place where I was like, I cannot handle more children, because they were really young. So when I got pregnant for the third time, when I already had my 2 children, was when my daughter was, I don't even think she was 1 year old yet. And I was working full time at home and taking care of the kids, and I wasn't even taking care of myself. So I knew in that moment I could not handle it. I'm not justifying that it was right. I'm trying to get to the point in the story where I've changed my mind. So just, if you have things to say, just know that I'm just explaining what my mindset was back then, and it's different now. Ultimately, I believed a lie that I could not handle a 3rd child, so I ended up terminating the pregnancy. It was really traumatizing, I'm not gonna lie. About a year or 2 later, I ended up getting pregnant again. And again, I had just started like this new role that was so crazy, and I was kind of in the same situation where I was just like, I don't think I can have another baby right now and do all the things I'm expected to do already. And I remember I was really upset this time because I never ever wanted to get back in a situation where I was having to make this decision again and do this to my body again, and yet here we are, and yet I still feel the same way. I can't do this. I'm happy to say that since then, I am no longer an atheist. I actually gave my life to Christ. He did a miracle in my life that I know was him. And I actually like called out to him when I was an atheist, if you're real, I really need you to resolve this problem for me. Literally the next day, boom, problem resolved. Something I could not fix on my own for months was suddenly resolved. So I became a Christian, started diving into the theology and the Bible and trying to get to know God. And I've since changed my mind that a clump of cells in my body is not just a clump of cells. It's life. It's something that God gifted and blessed me with. And so I've obviously repented and asked God for forgiveness for those 2 abortions that I did. You know, I thought I was making the best decision I could with the information and the situation that I had. I now know that, I could have done it. Honestly, life could have been better sooner had I just accepted those pregnancies and had those babies. If I had just accepted that call, I would have gotten to this point of leaving that job that I hated way sooner. And I can't believe that I ever put that job before my family in such an intense way. This pregnancy, I just told myself right away, I'm not gonna fall into the trap of thinking I can't do this. Oh my God, I'm barely having freedom now because my kids are older in school, and I have more freedom than I've ever had in years. And so there's that temptation to want to, again, just be like, woe is me. But I'm just like, no, I reject that. I rebuke that, because in the Word, in the Bible, it says that baby children are blessings. Abraham wanted a child his whole life and didn't have one until he was an old man. And that was a blessing. So to the fact that I'm having multiple children, I just want to see it that way, see it the way that God sees it, and accept this call. And even though I can't envision it super clearly how this will benefit the family, I'm just gonna trust. I'm just in this place where I'm like, all right, God, let's do this again. Let's do this again. And I know we're gonna love the baby, and the kids are really excited about the baby. We already told them. So far it's been pretty sweet, aside from the pregnancy symptoms. So I'm just trying to stay in that positive mindset of this is a blessing, and I can learn so much through this. It was unplanned, and I had all these other plans, and this kind of feels like I'm being derailed in a way. There's a lot to learn here. And we're back. It's actually about 2 weeks since I last filmed, where I was attempting to open packages and I got completely distracted by announcing my pregnancy. My 3rd pregnancy, or 3rd child I'm going to have, I guess is more accurate. Anyway, camera battery died. I only have one battery because the camera's new, so I charged it for a week. Not that it took that long, it just took me a while to kind of get back into the groove. I haven't been feeling well, to be completely honest. The morning sickness and the fatigue have been really kicking my butt, but this week I'm feeling slightly better. I'm still resisting the urge to go lay down and nap before I go get my kids, but I need to finally open these boxes. I don't know why they did the box like this. It's not down the middle. kind of awkward. And I just want to make a disclaimer now that this video is going to be a freaking mess. I wanted it to be cute and aesthetic and organized and pleasing, and it's just been everything but. Oh, okay, so these are the pillowcases that I bought. I like this little bag. I'm probably gonna keep this. I have fallen in love with linen. I used to like not understand, because I didn't know, the whole thing about linens and having linens, but ever since we changed our bed sheets to linens, oh my god, I will never go back. It is so comfortable, breathable, keeps you cool, but it keeps you warm. Like, it's just the best. Those are good. Glad that those came. Oh yeah, I knew I ordered toothbrushes. We've been needing these for months. This is the throw. I don't want to take it out right now because it looks like tape is kind of stuck to the little tassels on the end, and I just don't feel like dealing with that. But overall, you can get the idea of the cute, like, mocha brown color. One thing with this pregnancy is I keep burping. I have like acid reflux, kind of. It's not as severe, but it's just like every time I eat, I just start burping up like the flavors of what I ate. TMI, but trust me, it's, if you think it sounds gross, well, imagine having it. Oh, so these are the pots that I bought. The idea was to hang these at the window. I'm gonna have to troubleshoot this, but the idea is I wanted to have like some really cute hanging pots just to add more dimension and also greenery to the room. Fake greenery, because I'm not gonna water plants over my bed. And I remember they had this really cool like circular, semicircle detail. It's such a big box for a small package. It is my new keyboard. It also comes with a matching mouse, as you can see. I think that's it. I'm gonna go put these toothbrush heads in my bathroom before I forget. I received the chair, let me show you. It almost looks like a seashell scalloped, like tufted seating. My husband was originally gonna set it up for me when it first arrived, and I was like, no, don't do that. I have to film everything. And then, like, within a few days, I got sick, and now it's 2 months later and it's been sitting there. And I wish I just let him set it up, because then I could have had a chair this whole time at my desk, which I currently have none. Well, I do have a chair, but it's like, it's one of these blue dining chairs that we have, and they're hard and they're not comfortable. I've continued to do a little bit of my bedroom makeover off camera. I've just still not been feeling very well during the pregnancy. The fatigue has been very, very intense. I'm at the point where I am starting to feel better, have a little bit more energy, though part of that's probably because I started drinking a little bit of coffee here and there. It seems like I can only manage like one major project or errand in a day. Like if I go grocery shopping, I'm wiped out. If I decide that I need to clean the kitchen, clean the living room, wipes me out. So I'm just kind of doing the bare minimum, cooking dinner, keeping the household running, and trying to rest as much as possible. And so I decided to bust out the camera because I'm now putting my beige MacBook Pro cover on. I was gonna do this like really aesthetically on camera, but again, this whole video has kind of been teaching me that not everything can be aesthetic and perfectly filmed all the time. Life is in many ways not lend itself to aesthetics, and sometimes you just need practicality. I kind of just gave into, you know what, I'm gonna stop waiting for the perfect time to film. And I think I just wanted to talk a little bit, because I think that's been my lesson with this video, is I had this vision in mind about how this video was gonna be, and I got completely derailed from that vision. And it's now been almost 3 months, I think, since I started this plan, and then quickly found out after that that I was pregnant and started experiencing the intense first trimester symptoms. And I've just been initially feeling kind of guilty that things didn't go my way, but as time's come on, I've kind of just accepted that this is what it is, and I don't need to spend any more energy, waste any more energy than I already am on worrying about aesthetics and this vision that's not gonna pan out. But it's okay. It doesn't mean that I'm not gonna get it done, and it doesn't mean that I can't enjoy this room sooner rather than later, you know what I mean? So that's kind of where I've been, in this place of realizing that I just need to have a little bit more grace towards the situation, acceptance, so that I can move on and just continue to do my best. And I'm not gonna lie, I've also felt bad that I haven't really used this brand new laptop of mine very much. Like I used it the first few months. I've only had it for like 6 months now, which again is okay. I'm trying to teach myself and tell myself that it's okay. But I don't know, it's just those workaholic tendencies in me. I have a hard time just taking it easy and being nice to myself. Feels really nice. It's like this matte, almost like velvety material. Done. I'm working a little bit today on the desk because it was clear for a while, and then it quickly became a landing zone for everything I didn't know what to do with in this room. I can't even sit on my desk, not only because what's on top, but the bigger problem is underneath because there's a lot more stuff. This pregnancy has me like huffing and puffing for air all the time. In the past, when I've decluttered areas in the home, I've just wanted to like declutter everything at once, and it's always this bigger undertaking than I expect, and causes me more stress because there are areas that I obviously have just completely put in shambles and I can't take care of it immediately, or I can't take everything to the donation immediately. And yeah, I'm just trying not to do that to myself, add more stress, just kind of do more manageable chunks this time. It's kind of like a rule for life, right? Taking everything in baby steps and having more priority on consistency than progress or the amount of work you're getting done in one sitting. I know that's been kind of my key to the lock in my, what am I trying to say? I feel like I'm getting confusing with these analogies. I feel like the key to my success with enjoying fitness, for example, I started so minuscule. Literally, my goal was like, I just want to go to the gym for 30 minutes, and even if I don't do anything, fine. And of course, once I got there, I'd be stretching and like get on the treadmill and stuff, and I would end up doing things, but it was just like, I just wanted to prove to myself that I could go. I could just have the discipline to show up, slowly ramping up. Eventually, I got to the point where I was doing strength training every day. Or like most days of the week. I think I need to implement that here just in my personal life at home with getting it whipped into shape. I've really just realized during this process that I need to minimalize the home. There is a lot of nonsensical disorganization going on. It causes a lot more cleaning because there's always some kind of visual clutter just ruining the vibe, and I'm tired of that, and I'd like to just get the home back to a place where it's like we only have what we need. Anyway, I've rambled on way too long and I'm getting tired just talking. I should probably put this energy into actually cleaning up. It's okay that plans didn't go exactly the way I wanted, but it's okay. I'm gonna get back on track and things will be okay. So, all right, see you guys.